Hi, my name is Ines Gmail, and I'm coming from the non-governmental organization, which is called the Roma and Women Youth Association Luludi, which is from Skopje. So the Roma Women and Youth Association Luludi is an organization which is founded in 2001 in Skopje. It is founded as a response for the need for change and as support for the challenges faced by the Roma women and youth in Macedonia. The organization strives to achieve gender equality and protection of the women's rights, with the main focus on the Roma women, improvement of the status of the Roma women within society and within the family, as well as raising the level of education of the young Roma population. Our organization aims at achieving economic, social, cultural, and civil rights of the Roma women and youth. We also work on equitable representation in all spheres of social, economic, and political action and in decision-making processes. By promoting respect of women personality and integrity and achieving greater gender equality. Our mission is to improve the status of the Roma women and young Roma in the society and the family through their full inclusion and active participation in society. We work in cooperation with other organizations and institutions at local and international level. In these 20 years of existence, our organization, Luludi, is well-recognized NGO in its community. The recognition is due to the implementation of more than 30 projects, activities, and initiatives in various areas, such as human rights in the area of education, access to justice, healthcare, prevention and combating domestic violence, promoting the voting rights and elections, promoting youth participation and youth activism at local level, promotion of equality by providing as well non-formal education for the Roma women and youth. We promote as well education and active political inclusion in education, economic strengthening of the Roma women and the young Roma girls. Well, the Roma people in Macedonia are officially recognized as an ethnic community by the preamble of the Constitution, which was amended in 2001. According to the last census in 2002, it is estimated that there are around 53 and 1,879 people Roma living in Macedonia, which is 2.7% of the total population. But it is estimated by the Council of Europe that this number is much higher, and it is between 134,000 till 260,000 Roma people live in the country.
Why so many Roma people choose not to opt as Roma at the census of population?
Yes, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, I think that due to the present discrimination and the segregation and the hate speech, which is in really high level, the Roma people are feeling not very comfortable and free to say what they really are, and not saying that they are Roma in order for, to protect their children, so they can visit the schools regularly and, if I may say, in peace. So I think that the biggest issue about that is the segregation and the discrimination which the Roma people are facing. And also there are a lot of manipulations from the non-Roma in the communities which are more smaller, besides in Skopje. If we talk on national level, in the smaller cities, there are a lot of manipulation with the Roma people, and the influence on the Roma people for not, in some kind of way, not allowing them to say freely that they're Roma. At the moment, currently in Macedonia, we have the census is going on. So we hope that now we will get the real numbers. What I can say about Roma in our country, that the North Macedonia's Roma population, unfortunately, it's still the most vulnerable minority in the country. It is a community which faces both institutional discrimination and social prejudices, and lots of hate speech. There are a lot of policies, strategies, national and international documents for the inclusion of the Roma society. After the independence of the country, the Roma community, through representatives of political parties, and mostly by the NGOs, by the non-governmental organizations, participates in the political life of Macedonia. These policies are mainly funded by external donors like international organizations and foundations. As part of the EU enlargement process, the government adopted the national strategy for Roma and developed national action plans, which are in 4 areas: the area of employment, housing, health, and education. At the same time, these political documents aimed at improving the situation of the Roma in Macedonia. Those documents are the Decade of Roma, 2005 till 2015, and from 2016 till 2020, and also the National Strategy for Roma. In 2008, the Department for Implementation of the National Roma Strategy and the Roma Decade was established within Ministry of Labor and Social Policy. This unit was coordinated by the Minister without Portfolio, which was Roma, and who was also the national coordinator of the Decade and the National Strategy for Roma in cooperation with the Ministry of Labor and Social Policy. Later, the cooperation continued with the Secretariat for European Affairs and the EU delegation in Macedonia. At the moment, there is starting to create a new strategy, because the last one finished. The Ministry of Labor and Social Policy, which adopted the strategy for Roma of the Republic of Macedonia, together with the National Action Plans for Education, 2016 to 2020. Its goal was this document to improve the education structure of the Roma community, especially among the girls and Romani women. In order to achieve this, there were several measures that were planned, and some of them were implemented, but not fully. At the moment, there are ongoing scholarships for Roma secondary school and university students, and as well additional support for the Roma secondary school students through mentoring and tutoring, which at the beginning, at the first around 10 and maybe more years, it was fully funded by the Roma Education Fund. After that, it was funded part by the Roma Education Fund and part by the Ministry of Education, and now it's only by the ministry. We can say that there is a slight improvement regarding the educational level of the Roma. There are a solid number of graduated high schoolers, graduated university students, and some PhDs as well. But of course, there is still much to do in this area because, unfortunately, there is still present segregation and discrimination towards Roma in the schools.
And but then, what about the position of women in both in Roma community and in the great North Macedonian society? I mean, being vulnerable within the vulnerable community, it's not an easy thing. Can you tell a bit about that, please?
Regarding the position of the Roma women in the society, unfortunately, the situation, I can say that generally it's worse compared to the other ethnic communities. The Roma women continue to face difficult access to employment, difficult access to healthcare, to justice. There are employment programs and measures that are adaptable to meet the needs of the Roma women, and the information that is placed does not reach to them. In terms of employment, situation is less favorable for the Roma women since they are facing double discrimination, and most of them are not registered as active job seekers at the employment state agency. And also, not to mention that in general, women are less paid than men. And if we talk about the Roma women, it is always double, so they're double less paid. The Roma women are also facing a huge problem regarding the inadequate access of women to health, to appropriate health services, especially the gynecological services and antenatal care. There are no systemic solution which has been introduced in some cases. That there are only some temporary measures taken. For example, it was decennial issue, like for more than 10 years, the Roma municipality, the biggest Roma municipality, Shutorizar in Skopje, where over 8,000 patients were left struggling of not having family doctor, not having general gynecologist, and they had no access to their basic health needs. I can also say, unfortunately, it is often that Roma women are facing discriminatory behavior from medical staff. But I guess that with the emancipation given by the Roma NGOs and other NGOs which are working with the Roma women, we can say that the Roma women now are starting not to be so quiet when they face some discriminatory behavior, and as before. So now some of them are more loud and asking help and complain by legal procedure or by the media. Regarding the situation of the women in Macedonia, we still have a lot of cases of women which are victims of domestic violence, especially among the Roma women. And it's an issue that still needs a lot of work at both local and national level. Regarding the education, I think that the level of Roma women and young girls continuing with their high school and continuing to university and graduating in university is a trend which is increasing. And I believe that it will get much higher and much higher. But there is some gap in between when they finish completing their school and their path towards employment. I know a lot of Roma girls who are graduated with university or even MA degree and couldn't find appropriate job in the country, and they left abroad.